welcome back to video 1 part 2 of your lash training. Now I want to go over the lash training manual with you, and you should receive this with your kit. And the first page is just welcoming you. The second page is your lash kit supplies that you've gone over. Now the third page is the client consultation form, asking the guest the questions to evaluate their lashes, whether they've had allergic reactions in the past. Once they fill out the client consultation form, which is on the next page, you will need to go over their lashes in person. So if they have lash extensions, for instance, on from a prior business, I always suggest doing a consultation on that person, because you're going to want to make sure when you're going through their lashes they're not stuck together. Otherwise you won't be able to do a fill on that person. So always tell them to come in, and that way you can look at their lashes, to comb through them, see if there's good isolation involved. And once you learn what isolation is, you will be able to determine that during the consultation. So you might have to refer back to this to know what I'm talking about. But just making sure that they are using the same products you're using. For instance, since there are a lot of different lashes on the market, you want to make sure that they are actually able to use the volume lashes with the lashes they currently have. If they have cluster lashes on, you're not going to be able to do a fill on those, because cluster lashes are very thick at the base and they look kind of like a volume lash, but they are not volume lashes. They are clustered. So they are pre-made fans, which are actually really hard to take off. So I always remove them completely. And once you remove a client's lashes, then you cannot book a full set on the same day as removing the lashes, because the glue will be compromised. So you will need to rebook the full set for a different day, preferably 2 days afterwards, to give their eyes a rest. And it is kind of takes about an hour to remove the lashes sometimes, because of how much glue the technician might have used. So all this is for the client consultation. You're always going to want to do consultation on the person, just to see if they are able to do lashes in general. They might have to use serum. If you have an older client that doesn't have very many lashes, you might have to explain to them that they have to use a serum for about a month. And the Babe Lash is the lash serum that most people are using now with lash extensions, because it's lash extension safe. So if you have any more questions, you can always email us, but that's the client consultation page. The next page is eye infections and diseases. Now, there are many different eye infections out there, so if somebody comes into your business or place of work with pink eye or a sty, it goes over which one each eye infection is, and you don't want to work on somebody with an eye infection, obviously. So you would reschedule with them, let them know they need to seek attention with a doctor's office. We are not doctors, so. And in addition to that, you will have to know the difference between an eye infection and an allergic reaction. An allergic reaction usually occurs within 24 hours of doing the lash extensions. And in that case, you always want to have them come in right away to remove them. And I would not charge for removal. Usually you never charge for removal. And I actually don't charge for removal from other businesses, because it's something I do complimentary. It actually sets me apart as a business to offer that to people, and they're very courteous about the fact that I don't charge for that. So you're welcome to charge for removal if it's somebody that's coming in from a different place. But like I said, it's what I do. So a sty, pink eye, there is blepharitis. Now blepharitis is an eye condition where they're not cleaning their lashes. I have seen a lot of guests come in with blepharitis because they think the lashes will last longer if they don't clean them and they don't get them wet, when it's the exact opposite. Because if you don't wash your lashes, there's going to be more oil buildup on the lashes, which attracts more dirt. and it's going to be clogging the eye follicles on the lashes, which actually causes balding eventually. So lash extensions themselves don't cause lash loss. It's actually not cleaning the lash extensions properly is what causes that, because it causes blepharitis to occur. Now, if somebody has blepharitis, they do need to get treated, but need to go to a doctor for that as well. That's the client consultation waiver. That waiver is important because you want to make sure that they have a waiver that they're filling out, that they know that there is a chance they could have an allergic reaction, and then they need to sign it. This is a page on different lash lengths and thicknesses and different types of eyelashes. Now, most of the time now, or most common type of lash now is a CC curl, and a D curl, and a B curl. So those are the most popular right now. The C curl, the L curl, those aren't very popular, and the J curl, those are very flat. So nobody really wants those. Clients like their eyelashes to be really curly, so that's what the D curl is, the curliest one, and so that's my most popular lash that I put on my guests. And I actually only carry D curl and CC curl because of that reason. There's different thicknesses. Like in your kit, you either received 0.06 if you did a volume course, or a 0.1 if you did a classic course. And a 0.1 is the heaviest lash that I will go for training. Even though it shows 0.20 on here and 0.15, 0.12, those thicknesses, they're too heavy for the natural lash. So I don't use those. And then it goes into lengths. It goes all the way from 6 millimeters all the way up to 15 millimeters. And again, I only actually use 9 millimeters through 14. I don't go any higher than 14. Otherwise, it weighs the lash down too much and it just looks ridiculous to me. But that is just my preference. The next page is a lash map. This lash map is, we're going to go over more in the next video when we're doing a lash mapping on the pads. But this gives you the cat eye, the doll eye, natural eye, dramatic eye. So there are a lot of lash maps online. You can actually Google lash map, and you'll get a lot of variations between different sizes to use, but you can actually cross those out and put your own size in and just follow the diagram. So let's say you only have 9 millimeter through 14, then you would only use those numbers in the diagram, but just follow the diagram. That way you get that effect. Now, in addition to the different types of looks, you wouldn't do a cat eye with them accentuated on the ends unless that person, because some people say they want a cat eye, but they don't really know what that means. So that is not a good look for droopy lids. So if somebody has droopy lids, they're an elderly client, that is not a good look for them. So you'd want to do more of a doll eye, which is longer in the middle. It'll show you on the diagram which ones those are. And then let's say somebody has a close set eye, you want to make sure you elongate them on the outer corners versus the inner corners, because you want to make their eyes look wider, and then vice versa. So the natural eye is very common, so that's just the natural flow of the lash. That diagram's there. You have a page on Aftercare Instructions. This is the information you're going to want to know so that you can tell your guests how to take care of their lashes, or if they have an allergic reaction. Different lash types and eyes, which we've gone over, and it kind of goes over the lash cycle. So we all have a lash cycle. Our lashes fall out and then regrow, and the reason why we don't notice it as much is because our natural lashes fall out and they're thinner, but if we have an extension on the end of them, we'll see them more than we would if we hadn't had the extension on. So clients will come back to me saying, my lashes are falling out. That's normal, where our lashes are supposed to fall out, and that's the lashes we do the fills on. So, you know, those lashes will be babies, and then the next lashes will be more mature. You want to do your extensions on the more mature, longer lashes versus the baby lashes, because the baby lashes, you're not supposed to put extensions on. And it shows the extension or the lash cycle in the diagram on the page. The next 2 pages are the procedure, which we will go over when we're actually working on a client. I'll have you open your book up to this page, and then we'll just go and do the process so that you guys can follow along. The next page is lash touch-up or fill. That's the procedure for that. There's a procedure for removing the lash extensions. And then there's a page on your supply list. Now we will go over the supply list on our next video, but this will just be basically something that you want to just go over, make sure you have the items, the main items on the list. Obviously you can't get a massage table right away unless you have one, but the simple items on the list. And then when you're watching the next video and you're doing your setup, and if you have those items, that's actually a head start. Then the next 2 pages are the certification process and the picture requirements. The certification process, we're not going to just give you your kit and you watch the videos and that's it. We actually coach you after you are finished, and we make sure that you have good videos and good pictures of your work. So you need to do about be able to do a full set in 2-hour time, but have good isolation. So we don't want you to try to hurry and get to 2 hours. If you're behind, it's better. So that way you are doing the lash extensions properly. We want to make sure that the isolation looks really good. So that's why we ask for videos in addition to pictures. It doesn't say anything about videos on here, but I'm letting you know now that we do need a couple of videos of your work. And then it says on the picture requirements to have your name and date on a piece of paper in the picture. Now that's to make sure it's your work, but you can actually film take a picture of yourself in the picture if you can get yourself in there. But since that's hard to do, you can just write on the back of a card or lash tape and make sure that's in the picture. Maybe you can tape it on the person's forehead and just put your initials there just so we know it's your work. And then the last page is purchasing, and you do not have to purchase through us. That's not required at all, but you will get a discount when you are finished with the course. So most lash trays are averaging from $13 to $20, $28 a tray, and ours are 10. So you will be getting a great discount for the lash trays. The lash glues also significantly lower. So that's one thing that's great about the lash training is you get your discount. Now, if you want to purchase, you can't do it directly on our website because we don't like to sell to the general public. We only sell to cosmetologists or estheticians who are licensed with a valid license. So you're going to want to go onto our website, sweetangelspa.com, and go to our training page and then fill out the order form on the bottom of the page. And once you fill out the order form, it just tells us what products you're going to be ordering in the future. Even if you're not ready to order it now, you don't have to put anything down on there to pay for anything. But that is the same form you use to make your deposit for your kit. So you already are aware of that form. So that's the same form you use. Now, the pictures need to be emailed to us at angelocityscert@gmail.com. And just making sure, like, you know, if the pictures aren't up to our standard, we're going to email you back, let you know what you need to do. But if you have any questions whatsoever, you're always welcome to email us or give us a call. And if I am not able to answer, I will have one of the girls on staff be able to answer your questions, and they will be trained to do that. And I will see you in the next